Father Bill's and Mainspring organization is a nonprofit group committed to ending homelessness here in southern Massachusetts, and they've teamed up with the Plymouth task force to end homelessness, and the partnership is working. By providing 2 churches here in town, they've been able to get people off the street during these winter months and get them back on their feet in life. Sullivan brings us the story.
Just like any other city or town across America, the town of Plymouth is not immune to homelessness. The difference is, the streets here in the Northeast can be a very unforgiving place when the winter months roll around. While the winter of 2016 has been relatively mild compared to that of 2015, all it would take is a weekend like we had here in mid-February where temperatures dropped to their lowest in Massachusetts in 60 years, and suddenly you've got a crisis. That's why on every night of the week except for Sunday, you'll see this van parked outside of St. Peter's Church between 5 and 5:45 p.m. The parking lot serves as the pickup spot for homeless men to go to one of 2 overnight shelters. On Sunday nights, the pickup spot is behind Memorial Hall across the street, but we stopped by on a weeknight. We met with Emily Perkins. She's the Scattered Sites case manager, and this is her first night driving the van.
It's exciting, definitely a big deal, and it's nice to be involved with such a really great program that, you know, we want to see continue for not only the rest of this year, but into the years to come.
It may have been Perkins' first night in the van, but she's been with Father Bill's and Mainspring organization since August of 2015, and she knows the protocol.
Everyone is expected to be here 5:30, 5:35-ish. We'll do a search to make sure, you know, no one's bringing anything into the shelter that they really shouldn't be. And then from there, in the van, we'll go over to whatever church is hosting that week.
On this night, the van was heading to Christ Church Parish on Court Street. This is the first year that Father Bill's has teamed up with the Plymouth Task Force to End Homelessness, something that CEO April Conley says has made a difference already.
What we're doing in the shelters this year is providing more triage and assessment and case management services to really assist people in getting resources and moving into housing. Whereas in the past, the shelter has really functioned as an emergency overnight respite for people who would otherwise be outside. So we've managed this year to house 5 people straight from shelter, to get several people connected to benefits, to food stamps, to work resources, and just by providing that additional case management support versus just literally providing a bed and a meal on the overnight.
The shelter season runs for 16 weeks, and for 5 of those weeks, Christ Church is the place for homeless men to call home, for at least the night.
They stay right in the open area there, in that cafeteria area. They lay down mats, so those tables come out, and then mats are laid down. People get a blanket, they get whatever they need, any basic toiletries. They're able to clean themselves up a little bit if they need to do that, and then they eat, and then they go to bed.
Conley hopes that the progress made so far is the means to the ultimate goal.
Long term, we hope not to need a shelter. Long term, we don't want to need a seasonal shelter or a shelter at all. The idea would be to have a resource here in Plymouth where people can come who are at risk of homelessness and help prevent that in whatever way possible, and really divert them from from hitting that point in their lives where they're on the street.
In downtown Plymouth, I'm Sullivan for PACTV Community News.